Alphino seems eager to review your journey thus far. The leap to Yak T'el. I'm sure the others will be along shortly. I do hope everyone has rested well. Now that we have refreshed ourselves somewhat, let us consider all claimants as they currently stand. Zeral, Ja, and Koana have completed every feat thus far and hold 5 keystones apiece. Uklamat should be equal with them, but for Bakul Jaja's thievery, which has left us 1 short. That conniving braggart didn't so much as lift a finger for the feat of proof and wreaked havoc for the feat of ice. He can't have more than 3 keystones at most. He may think he can simply steal what he needs to win, but he's sorely mistaken. I will be taking back what is mine. This I swear. I fear that reclaiming your keystone may not be enough. That is, if Bakul Jaja's unleashing of Valigarmanda is any indication. Using his lead, I anticipate that he will move to obtain the remaining keystones before disrupting his rival's attempts. Okay, but I mean, if he's 2 keystones short, then he still has to go back and get those, right? Is he gonna get them if all he's willing to do is steal? We may all find ourselves being forced to take from one another. I can't say I'd be comfortable with that. But neither will I surrender my claim to the throne so easily. If it's for the sake of preserving the happiness of my people, I'll do what I must. The last 2 keystones we require are those of the Lay of Repast and the Lay of the Brotherhood. The former depicts the cessation of hostilities between the Mamoja and Shibra in the forests of Yak T'el, specifically near a village called Ikbrash. That's where I was born, if you recall. I haven't been back there since Papa took me in when I was a baby. Where the Lay of the Brotherhood takes place, however, is unclear. In the saga, it is said that a foreign explorer came seeking an audience with the Dawn Servant. But little more than that. Eorzea has a similar tale. The explorer Ketenram befriended a 2-headed king, known as the Autarch, before commencing his travels across Tural. He journeyed here several times afterwards, but was ultimately lost at sea. At least, that is the commonly held belief. Your 2-headed king certainly sounds like Papa, so this Ketenram fellow must have come to Tuliolal. But if he indeed arrived some 80 years ago, the capital may not have been built yet, vestiges of Yakui architecture notwithstanding. Wait, you said Autarch, didn't you? Then Ketenram must have met the Dawn Servant in Mamuk. Mamuk? Is that a city? One of the grandest in Tural, once upon a time, and the seat of the Mamoja's homeland. It too lies in Yak T'el, not far from Ikbrash. Then all things considered, Yak T'el seems the obvious choice for our next destination. From here, the safest method of travel is by dirigible. We should make for the landing once our preparations are complete. We're riding in one of Kona's balloons? They can't be any worse than ships, can they? Surely the kitty won't start puking again. Well, we can figure out about the payment and all after stream. The next flight to Yak T'el will be leaving shortly. Passengers are asked to keep hands, legs, and luggage inside the dirigible at all times. Are we sure that thing will stay in the air? All the way to Yak T'el? Are you ready? Bags packed in. Goodbyes said. There's no going back once we lift off. Not that I'm nervous or anything. I'm just making sure that you're not nervous. I thought she was going to stop pretending. I mean, it lasted a little while, I guess. Oh, who am I kidding? My knees won't stop shaking. Hey, will you hold my hand? Just until I've settled my nerves. Maybe ask Aaron. I want to see the response. I don't want to be mean to her, but I do want to see the response. Maybe ask Aaronville? That stick in the mud? He'd never let me live it down. There she is. Third promise. Wait just a moment. Oh my goodness, it's our mercantile friend. Mablu and Tobley. Of course, of course. I'll wait as long as you need. Sorry to delay you, but we were able to discover the origin of Kryle's earring. Is that so? You said before that it gained popularity in Yak T'el as a protective ward for travelers, correct? That's right. We tracked down the elderly merchant to whom first sales are attributed. According to him, the design imitates an accessory worn by a foreign mage he met at market some 20 years ago. Little did he know that charming taste of salt would prove to be a commercial triumph. A foreign mage wearing this earring could only be grandfather. Did the merchant happen to mention which market? One in Yak T'el, to where it seems you are already bound. What luck. Then I shall seek my next clue once we arrive. There's some fireworks going off, so sorry if you hear any pop noises. It is mere coincidence that brought my grandfather there, or yet another discovery to look forward to. Thank you both for coming all this way. Anything for the third promise. Good luck with the rest of the rite. Thanks. I won't let you down. I've just got to board this dirigible and I'm as good as there. Last call for passengers through Yak T'el. I really hope she wins. Yak T'el will test her mettle, without a doubt. The next Dawn Servant must be willing to bear the full weight of this nation's history, no matter how heavy it may be.
The fierce Shepral hunters who laid claim to this land call it the Azure Forest, Yak T'el. Battered by meteors in ancient times and colored mesmerizing shades of blue and green by nature, it is easy to understand why the place is so named. It is here, where the Shepral and Mamulja once battled for dominance, that the rite of succession would reach its climax.
Are you all right?
I've never been good with heights.
Okay, to be fair, me either. But I don't get sick. I just have a panic attack, basically.
The vegetation is far denser than in Kozamautka.
I suggest you pay more attention to the ground, unless you want to walk straight into a cenote.
She should just be thankful that that balloon wasn't made by Boeing.
A cenote?
sinkholes filled with rain and groundwater. Many meteors fell here long ago, it is said, and after they struck the Earth, it became susceptible to erosion. Deep as some of the pits are, you'll not climb out in a hurry should you take a tumble. So, don't take a tumble.
Looks at Wukalamat.
It was one time.
Is the Shabral community depicted in the Lay of Repast close by?
Aye. We need but follow the path a short way west.
Right. I can't stand here with my knees knocking forever. Let's get going.
With thicker vegetation comes reduced visibility. I advise you to keep someone in sight at all times. For all of Erinville's insistence, I have yet to discover anything particularly blue about this forest. See? No tumbles, thanks to Kryl and Alice, but it still counts. Take care not to get separated. I'd hate to lose you to this rampant undergrowth. Good. Everyone's accounted for. Yak T'el is up ahead. Let's be on our way. Just so you know, I shall be very cross if you push me. It's a good one. Alice will not like it if we push her. I mean, we're pretty high up. That would be not very nice of us. Are all cenotes this steep, I wonder? Ha! I've fallen into High Tide Harbor enough times to be a professional diver. There's no way I'd fall into something like this on accident. Famous last words. Erinville was not exaggerating about the cenotes. It would be a grueling ordeal to climb out of one. Well, thankfully we made it here without incident. Let's not dally any longer. Village of the Hunt. Wukalamat's attention is divided between the perilously deep cenote and Yak T'el. Ready to head on in? Our first task should be finding the Elector. Hopefully our relative tardiness will not reflect poorly upon us. The third promise and her retinue, I presume. You presume right. I seek the Dawn Servant's Elector. Then come and join us in the Garden of the Stars at the village center. Everyone is waiting for you. Everyone? And who might that be? There is but one way to find out. Come, let us follow him.
At last, we are graced by the presence of the third promise.
If I'd known we'd be waiting on your mangy hide, I wouldn't have bothered with a Ligarmanda in the first place.
Bozo.
You self-serving piece of weaver dung! Do you have any idea how many could have been hurt?
Now that we are assembled, let us begin. My name is Hunmuruk. As a Brash Rash, I have the honor of serving as a lector on behalf of my people. As all 4 claimants must be present for this feat, we have eagerly awaited your arrival. Third promise, if you would please join us. Thus far, you have faced each other as rivals. The feat of Repast, however, will test your cooperation. You must complete this challenge in teams of 2.
Okay.
What? You expect us to work with one of these weaklings?
Be warned. Only the triumphant team will receive keystones. I advise you to cooperate with your partner.
Maybe they'll shed more light on this later. I had concerns about this at the start of this whole pilgrimage, and then I saw that, okay, there are multiple of each keystone. But I mean, so if there's only one keystone from here, then the competition's just over once somebody gets it, right? Unless they're not required for the end step, which is finding the Golden City. Something about this is kind of confusing to me, and I thought it wasn't going to be a problem, and now it looks like it'll be a problem again. But they'll probably address it at some point.
Teams will be decided by lots. Those who draw the same color will be paired accordingly.
Oh, okay. So 2 people will get the keystones, but they are pairing up the... I thought they were gonna, like, assign each of them one of their companions.
After all he's put her through, I wouldn't blame her if she did something rash. I might even help.
She's for sure getting paired with him.
Please present your colors. I have red. Blue. On separate teams, then.
Okay, or not.
Red. Which means...
So it's the cats versus the Mamoja.
As fate would have it.
victory's as good as ours.
With our claimants thus paired, so too is their opposition.
Not the one-head.
Listen well, for the trial that awaits you is as follows. Each team is to prepare a sample of traditional Shebrol cuisine. Shibruk Pibil.
And now we must cook. Another ludicrous feat.
So it might seem, but there's bound to be deeper meaning to it.
Agreed. Given that the very future of our nation is at stake, all parts of this rite must have significance.
Our promises have grown rather promising, wouldn't you say? Indeed. If I were to guess at the significance of the feat, few things reflect the history and development of a culture so clearly as its culinary traditions.
The variety of stewed dishes in Garlean cuisine bespeaks their agricultural roots and cold climes, true.
The peoples we've met on our journey, they've all had different practices involving food and drink. The Hanu replenish their magical energies with reeds, while the Pelu have turned their fondness of beverages into a living. So basically, to know a people's cuisine is to know something of their ways.
With each feat, we have deepened our familiarity with a given community's history and culture. Is this what Father intended for us all along? But a leader with his vision must see that the past doesn't hold the answers we need. It is through embracing innovation, not adhering to tradition, that we will usher Tuli Yolal onto a more prosperous future. The rules are simple. The first team to prepare and partake of satisfactory Shibruk Bivir will be deemed victorious. You will be judged by your sample's taste and appearance, as well as your adherence to appropriate cooking techniques. Kitchens have been made available for your use. Note that you may be asked to retry should your dish fail to pass muster.
I think we might be misusing the word kitchen slightly if he's talking about what I think he's talking about.
Let the feat of repast begin.
I've never actually heard of Shibruk Bibil before. What's it like, I wonder?
First Promise and Bakul Jaja are formidable on the field, but in the kitchen, I think the odds are in our favor. Only 2 claimants can receive keystones from this feat, intimidating perhaps, but irrelevant. We shall prevail. I consider myself a connoisseur of all things tasty and turali, but this is the first I've heard of Shibruk Bibil. Me too. For the pairings to be thus decided, the stars align for us indeed. As much as I would have loved to defeat you all in a high-stakes culinary battle, I couldn't have asked for better allies. How fortunate that this feat's unique stipulations have frustrated Bakul Jaja's attempts to delay us. Serves him right. That's what he gets for endangering my people with his schemes. Why doesn't he just compete fairly? He's plenty strong, and obviously has a mind for strategy, twisted though it may be. I'll never understand him. Putting aside our competition for the moment, allow me to express how glad I am for this opportunity to work together. As I see it, our team possesses a distinct advantage. Heh, of course we do. Any team I'm on is bound to succeed. Precisely. You mean we have an advantage in numbers, yes? Our competition has a team of 6, the 2 claimants, Surreal Jha, and Bakul Jaja's lackeys. Whereas we are a team of 9. That's 3 more people we can mobilize. With the tasks suitably delegated, it should be a brisk affair to learn the recipe and assemble necessary ingredients. Too easy. Well, we mustn't be overconfident, lest we make a careless mistake that we could have easily avoided. Our first order of business should be determining the recipe for Gibrock Bibil. We can hardly gather ingredients for a dish we know nothing about. Given the nature of this feat, asking for answers directly may prove less effective than simply observing the daily habits of the Gibral people. Let us gather here once we have seen what clues this village has to offer. First, I will remember to attune to the etherite. Colorful spices. A number of spices, some entirely unfamiliar to you, are nestled in a basket. That one's called akiote. We mostly use it to add a bit of color to our most popular cuisine, but its medicinal benefits are significant as well. I will remember to attune to the etherite. There's no way I would forget. Cue to 20 minutes from now, me saying shit and running back here. I will remember, I will remember. I'll do it now since I'm close. Yay, I remembered. On my EU playthrough, I don't remember which one, but one of them I missed and had to run back and do the run of shame. But I think so far I got them all. Bright banana peel, that's a shiny one. An unusually colored banana peel has been neatly arranged on the ground, which appears to be smoking. Banana peel you shouldn't smoke, it's bad for you. Oh no, it appears I've gone and dropped my Jatika banana peel. I could barely see it from all the steam issuing from my underground oven. Ah, there's nothing like enjoying a tasty banana while you use the leaves in your cooking. Okay, banana leaves. Underground oven. We're learning. Fastidious fellow. The recipe for Gibrock Bibil? I wish I could tell you, friend. A dish so delicious is meant to be shared. Alas, we are forbidden from divulging anything. Orders from Hanmu Ruck himself. But your mentioning it has given me a fierce craving. I only hope there's still Ibruk to be had at market. Wink. Ibruk. Okay, so it's... I don't know. A component of the dish that is pre-prepared is what we know about it. Ibruk. On the market. Hubigo Guardian. We ought to cut our losses and head to Mamuk. This feat is nothing but a fool's errand. You're the fool if you think he won't tan our hides for leather if we dare to return without enough keystones. Besides, we've taken from the house cat before. How difficult could a second time be? What are you looking at, Salt Liquor? Mind your own business. Sorry, I'm back. What did we discover about Gibrock Bibil? True to your prediction, the villagers were forbidden from educating us, directly. However, many were still preparing it as one might a staple dish. An observation of their techniques yielded clues enough. A lady blending local herbs and spices was only too happy to describe the ones I didn't recognize, while neither confirming nor denying any relation to Gibrock Bibil. But one in particular she attributed to all common Gibral dishes. Akiote, she called it. I see. Then if Shibruk Pibil is indeed a dish as ubiquitous as Alphino claims, we have confirmed our first ingredient. Meanwhile, I did observe a cook burying bundles wrapped in the leaf of a najul, or banana in certain localities. It would seem the use of subterranean ovens is commonplace. I saw the same. I think we all know what's inside those bundles then, don't you? Ibruk, without a doubt. A sizzling slab of beef that smelled so good I could practically taste it, the squeaky flesh of a bipedal fish. I mean, it's obviously Ibruk, but I'm just wondering if any of these would be funnier. Ibruk, without a doubt. As would be expected of a dish called Shibruk Pibil, indeed. So to summarize, this dish is one of Ibruk, flavored with a combination of spices that includes akiote, and steamed underground within najul, or banana leaves. Given our assumptions are correct, we must now learn where and how to procure our ingredients. As a staple cuisine, its ingredients would be close at hand, which is why Thancred and I scouted the surrounding forests while you all were exploring the village. Between the local vegetation and wild Ibruk, we should have everything we need in regards to meat and spices. Leave it to a master gleaner. With that, we should next divvy up our tasks. While some gather ingredients, others should make ready the kitchen. I can help prepare the kitchen. Permit me to assist as well. Our ovens will doubtless require firewood, and I have some experience in its gathering. I too shall be glad to volunteer mine aid. Then the rest of us will gather ingredients. I can make quick work of the spices and herbs myself. I am happy to lead someone to a suitable Ibruk, if they will perform the requisite deed. Alice? As for the najul leaves, I believe I am capable of acquiring that much on my own. Be warned, you won't find najul in these parts. They only grow in the Jatika heartland, forests far below these. Such an excursion may be time-consuming. Perhaps we ought to try bartering first. This feat encourages our communication with the locals, after all. Lamatia, Rain, if you would accompany me on my errand. No better way to whet my appetite. Good. Let us be about our tasks, then. They're still going crazy with the fireworks. I hope it doesn't make annoying sounds on the stream. Come on, let's go and get those najul leaves. The sooner we do, the sooner we can eat. A history of violence. Kona has the look of a man intent on finding bananas. Let us see if there are najul leaves to be had in town. Perhaps the cook Ryanje mentioned might be persuaded to spare us a few. Cheerful kook. Oh, hello again. Did you need something? Najul leaves, for purposes other than Shibruk Pibil, naturally. Unfortunately, I've just used up my last. You'll have to travel to the lower forests for more. Omajik Grove is the source of the finest najul leaves you'll find. Wild variants you sometimes see in city markets can't compare. I see. I had hoped to avoid such a lengthy venture, but if there's no other way to obtain our ingredient, then to the Jatika heartland we shall go. Allow me to save you the trip. Traveling there requires that you go through the Tienbeck Traverse, but it is caved in, due to the recent storm, I expect. What? But that means we can't get our najul leaves. But we can, can't we? If there were no other way of procuring them, you would have suspended this feat, or else altered its objective. Perhaps. Anyway, I apologize for the interruption, but having overheard your conversation, I felt compelled to chime in. That's very kind of you. Any last-minute advice you'd be willing to share? Only to undertake the feat of repast with an empty stomach. You may find Sheeprook Peeble to be a delicious but daunting dish to finish. Heh, I can't wait. Bye, funny mustache man. Still, if there are no leaves here, and we can't travel for more, how are we supposed to gather all our ingredients? These feats are meant to deepen our understanding of the peoples and cultures of Tuliolol. So perhaps there is something about Sheeprook Peeble that we have yet to learn. Something of significance other than its recipe or ingredients. Oh, I see. Like who was the first to make it, its history, that sort of thing. If it's Yak T'el's history you're interested in, you should start with the Old War. Between the Shabral and the Mamoja, right? These forests have borne witness to centuries of warfare, the evidence of which remains a scar upon the earth. To know the end of that bloodshed is to know Sheeprook Peeble. Huh? What does steamed Ibruk have to do with bloodshed? Precisely the question we must answer. Vexing through such a detour may seem, I can think of no... Vexing through such a detour may seem, I can think of no other way to approach this feat. Okay, I see. Precisely the question we must answer. Vexing though such a detour may seem, I can think of no other way to approach this feat. Old man cannot read. In that case, you may wish to visit the site of a settlement ruined by the war, the village of Ilian Aso. It lies a short distance to the east. The village of Ilian Aso. Understood. Thank you for your help. Come, let's go and see this place. I'm sure I'm emphasizing all the wrong parts of these Turali words. Ilian Aso. Something like that, maybe. Everyone knows there was a war between the Mamoja and Shabral, but I may have forgotten some of the details. The village of Ilian Aso must be further east. Let us continue with haste. For all we know, our competitors may be on our heels. There's the A rank. Inkburb. So this is the village of Ilian Aso, or what's left of it. It was a place of light and life. My great-grandfather called it home, in fact. Again? Ukivu. I didn't know you were in Yak T'el. Picking up lumber from Ikbrash when I heard the third promise was on her way to this site of deep historical significance. I immediately saw another opportunity to be of service, and so followed you here. Ukivu is a shipwright who came to our aid during the Feat of Reeds. A pleasure. You are a member of the Third Promise's retinue, I presume. For the moment, I suppose I am. My name is Kona. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Kona. Now that's a good name. A familiar name. Where have I heard... Right, here's the part where he asks us to cut his head off. Kona, as in the second promise of Tuliolol. To think that I addressed the Dawn Servant's own son as some common retainer. Such disrespect cannot be excused. Please, take up your gun and... Oh, come on, not this again. I take no offense, so please do not dwell on it. Alright then, I shan't dwell on it. And right on cue. At least he's consistent? I understand you wish to learn about Shabruk Pibil. While I am forbidden by the Shibrash Rash to divulge any information regarding its preparation, I would be happy to share what I know of Yak T'el's history. We'd appreciate that. In its most basic sense, the conflict between the Shibral and Mamoja was one of land. The Mamoja live in the lower forest, where the thick canopy obscures the sun and the soil is unforgiving to crops. This drove them to covet the upper forest, the home of the Shibral, and they launched a determined campaign to seize it for themselves. Yet advantage ever favors higher ground, and the Shibral forces held the upper hand against the invaders, rebuffing them time and again. But as the state of this village would attest, the tide eventually turned. What brought it about? Something you know all too well, blessed siblings. You must understand, the Mamoja were once a people as much at war with themselves as they were with others. The Hubugo, Bunawa, and Dopro each sought to assert dominance over the others, even as they engaged in the Shibral in battle. In an effort to strengthen bonds and discourage infighting, Hubugo and Bunawa leaders arranged a marriage between their children. However, this political measure altered the course of history in ways no one could have ever imagined. It was long believed that partners of differing clans could not have children together. But then it happened. A child arrived who shared the blood of Hubugo and Bunawa both, a two-headed Mamoja. Blessed with tremendous physical strength and magical powers, he grew into a mighty warrior before eventually arising as the first Altork, ruler of all three clans. Such qualities would dispose anyone to leadership, character notwithstanding. Under the Altark's rule, the newly united Mamoja became a force to be feared, and the war soon came to a head. I think it best you see the results firsthand. Let us visit another battlefield from that time, and there I shall continue the tale. Next, battlefield. The many petrified trees.
This is where most battles were fought between the Shibral and Mamulja, the Shobrit Cinder Field.
A field of cinders, indeed. How fierce their clashes must have been.
The war over these lands began after the Yokui's departure some 500 years ago. And for 4 centuries thereafter, the two enemies repaid violence with violence. A constant stream of minor skirmishes, punctuated by massive slaughter.
Until Father ended their endless conflict 80 years ago.
Accompanied by a retinue of only 6, the Dawn Servant opposed both armies and brought the fighting to a standstill.
First they sealed Vali Yarmanda at full strength, and now this.
It was during this armistice that both sides gathered for negotiations at the Dawn Servant's behest.
Uh-oh. Echo time.
For too long, you have been bound by your ancestors' violent legacy.
It is past time you broke free of it.
Tell that to the Scale Scum! We fight to protect what is rightfully ours! If not for their greed, we'd be living in peace!
Buff your tails and scurry off, then! Cowards like you ill-deserve the bounty of this forest.
Even should one of you succeed in vanquishing the other, your triumph will last only until a new invader arrives. Tell me, do you know of the vast continent that lies far to the east, where numerous nations vie for dominance? You do not. And why should you? Affairs beyond the salt we have no intention to cross are of no consequence to us. Not until those affairs come to Tural, like our honored visitor here.
He's from across the ocean.
I've been to the ocean before, and it's nothing but water farther than the eye can see. What sort of vessel could possibly reach its end?
I don't remember what the explorer who came's name was. But I just had thought that, like, what if him and Galoof are the same person, but I feel like that guy doesn't look like a Galoof, but at the same time he's got gray hair, so maybe, I don't know.
That such technology exists is indisputable, as is foreign powers' awareness of Tural. If any such country were to develop a taste for Turali soil and bring to bear the might of innovations we can only imagine, what do you suppose happens then? You do not know the warlords of the East, but you know that if they came, they would not settle for a single forest. By joining hands, we might create a unified front, an alliance capable of repelling them or any other foe. There is no greater proof of these than my companions and I. Alone we are weak, but together we triumphed over Valigarmanda.
What? You defeated the Sky Ruin? I'd take you for a liar if the sting of our own defeat wasn't still fresh.
Their coordination was indeed impressive. How the Belu stymied our efforts to cripple the Yokui's legs and defend our ballistas. And when we withdrew to strike again from a distance, the Hanu called the winds to make our arrows miss their marks. In seeking to exploit their weaknesses, we only subjected ourselves to their strengths.
Those strengths are born of cooperation, the guiding principle of the nation we envision.
But our feud has lasted for centuries. How do you expect us to join hands now?
Ha ha! Give us an evening to convince you.
The Great Unifier.
And so began that legendary banquet. One would not expect sworn enemies to abruptly drink to each other's health, and, indeed, a tense silence hung over the venue. But then, the Dawn servant called for the exchange of traditional cuisine. So it was that the Mamulja partook of spiced meat, and the Chebral steamed Najul. Before long, delight manifested upon the faces of those present, each side impressed by the other's dish. Seeing this, the Dawn servant laughed and declared once more. Their flavors, he said, would be even better combined, and he proceeded to help them prepare the new creation.
That's Shibruk Pibil, I'd wager.
Yay, Wuklamat, you figured it out.
It is a marriage of Chebral and Mamulja cultures, and proof of their newfound cooperation. The Dawn servant had asked for a single evening, but the feasting is said to have lasted 3 days and 3 nights. So delicious was their repast. In the end, a peace accord was reached, and the Dawn servant's words at that time still illuminate our way forward.
Ignorance begets strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
Sorry. It's just to think that he ended an age-old conflict with food. It's all so absurd. It's somehow so very papa, I couldn't help but laugh.
Ignorance begets strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
Now then, I trust you understand the significance of Shibruk Pibil and the history it has written.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing the story with us. What's wrong? Someone was there, you say?
Perhaps our competition is cooking up some scheme or another.
Something bitter and half-baked, no doubt.
Refreshing that we've gone all this time and no Asians. I hope I have been of sufficient service to the Third Promise. I never imagined our father was instrumental to Shibruk Pibil's invention. Papa really did live up to his words. He traveled the land and learned about our people's myriad cultures, and we're doing the same now. Bananas still weigh heavily upon Kona's mind. The feat of Repast. Wukivu has given us valuable insight into the origins of Shibruk Pibil. However, we are still no closer to procuring the necessary nodule leaves, unless... Tell me, was that historic feast commemorated in some fashion? With a monument, for instance? Indeed it was. Allow me to show you. What does Kona want with a monument? It's only speculation, but I dare to hope. Here it is. Offered up by the two factions, these weapons symbolized their vow that they would never again raise arms against each other. Since this feat demands a journey through history, I thought it only logical that a monument like this might steer us true, especially one at the heart of so significant a battlefield. Lamatia, Rain, would you help me search this area for clues? Tell me if anything catches your eye. Sure thing. Look here, the soil has been recently overturned. Ooh, someone buried a box. Well, well, I would have been satisfied to find only a hint, but here they are. Fresh Najul leaves. Hunmuruk's doing, I'd wager. There's a poetry in hiding them on this battlefield, given that it was central to the war they helped end. So we planned all this from the start. Thank you again, Wukivu. We wouldn't have found these leaves without your help. It was my honor to render assistance. And with apologies to present company, allow me to offer my encouragement as well, Third Promise. Ever since I witnessed your performance in the Feat of Reeds, I have been certain that you are the claimant most worthy of leading our nation. All devised solutions to the Hanu's ailing crops, but you alone sought to know their culture and revive Ihihana, even if it seemed unrelated to your task. In my humble opinion, no one cares more for the people of Tuliolal and what they hold dear. Should you again require the historical musings of an old shipwright, I am ever at your service. For now, I take my leave. And for now, I take my leaf. I cannot argue with that. We have what we need. Let us return to Ikbrash. I'm glad we were successful. The others should be back soon, I expect. I hope so. I'm famished. How did everyone fare? We got the Najul leaves. Wukivu came along and helped us find them. Wukevu was here? I would have liked to say hello. Yes, he gave us an important history lesson. That Galul Jaja brought an end to centuries of warfare surprises me little. To achieve said peace through cuisine is something else entirely. Leave it to my old man to find the oddest of solutions. But how about the rest of you? Is our kitchen ready? Everything should be in order. Oriange and I made another tour of the village and borrowed the cooking utensils we need. With no mention of what we needed them for, of course. And I am pleased to report that we are stocked with the finest firewood this forest had on offer. Spoken like a true expert. Aaronville and I found our Ibruk, so we should have meat aplenty. It was a spirited creature, so much so that its hunter fell down a cenote trying to catch it. What part of "never speak of this to anyone" did you not understand? Ha 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 ha. I picked a good portion of local herbs, with particular attention to the seeds that yield achiote. I'm told our resident astrologian divined the appropriate measurements for the seasoning as well. Through further inquiry did I determine the ideal balance of spices. Then all that remains is to prepare the dish itself. I presume that at least one among us is versed in the culinary arts. I can hardly claim profound skill, but I have cooked for myself. You can leave the rest to me. And you, I hope. As I recall, you are an accomplished culinarian. I wonder if it checks your culinarian level and only plays that line if you reach a certain point. Ooh, my mouth is watering already. Without further delay, then.
Oh, it smells so good.
Good, there is still time. I shall prepare our sample at once.
At first, I wasn't sure about being stuck with the one head. But better that than playing nanny to the mewling house cat.
Be quiet, Bako Jaja. No one cares what you think.
Huh. Act tough all you like. Victory will be ours.
Okay, dude.
It's ready. Apologies for the wait. We submit to you our Shibruk Pibil.
Oh, they look like tacos to me.
This looks amazing!
The dish is prepared by using the culinary techniques of the Mamulja to cook the spiced meats favored by the Jabral. It is a symbol of peace between their two peoples after centuries of war.
Both the ingredients and your methods appear to have been correct. Now then. In taste, texture, and aroma, you have recreated Shibruk Pibil admirably.
Let's go.
Granted, anyone might well achieve similar results by following the recipe to the letter. But you went a step further. You sought to learn the cultural significance of the dish, about Yak T'el's history of violence, and your father's role in ending it. Your willingness to take lessons from the past befits aspiring Dawn servants. And for that, I commend you. All that remains is to partake of your creation. True understanding is gained only through experience.
But what if she can't eat it and is puking for some reason?
This is something I'm definitely good at.
Let's see it, Wuklamat. Taco Master.
I believe we have yet to receive our assessment. Ours is also a faithful example of Shibruk Pibil, as you will no doubt agree.
I see.
Uh-oh.
While your effort looks the part, unlike the second and third promises dish, it lacks its defining aroma.
Yeah, get fucked.
Preposterous! The meat was marinated and spiced before being steamed in an earthen oven. This is Shibruk Pibil.
But did he have the leaves? I don't think so.
Oh? And what about the Jatika banana leaf?
It's because of you that we couldn't get any damn leaves! You can't fault us!
But the second and third promises had no such difficulty, did they? That which they needed they acquired simply by showing interest in our history and heritage.
Duh, it's just some crusty old leaf. What difference could it make?
You're a crusty old leaf, how about that?
Your dish lacks an essential ingredient. As you have failed to demonstrate an adequate understanding of Shibruk Pibil, I must deem your performance unsatisfactory. Your team will not receive keystones.
This was stupid anyway.
His ambition only grows more intense. That someone could harbor such dark thoughts towards family.
What do I care for this sham of a feat? I can always take what I need later.
This is delicious!
Let's go.
The brook is so tender it melts in your mouth, and the way the najou leaf rounds out these spices is sublime.
Meow meow.
This is the taste of harmony. Someone who only knows brute force and deception could never appreciate it.
Yeah, rub their face in it.
Choke on your harmony.
And usually when someone is telling someone to choke on something, it is a little...
Come. Finish your meal. That too is part of the feat.
A little meaner than that.
Don't have to tell me twice. Ah, that was bliss. You've got real culinary talent. If you ever tire of adventuring, you can always be my personal chef.
It was palatable enough, I suppose. To you, who have successfully performed the feat of Repast, I present these keystones.
Only 1 feet left.
Let's go.
Well, I should get going then. I'm glad that I wasn't paired with one of the others.
I bet.
We can do better than that, surely.
See you, nerds.
The 6th keystone is ours. Thanks for all your help, everyone. I forgot something important. Is there any shipwreck people left? I could really use another helping.
That was so good. I'm already looking forward to having Jibruk Pibil again. Here, Rain. Cryo made more using leftover ingredients. You'll love it. I'm thinking to buy more for the road myself. Now that the feat of Repast is over, the villagers should be free to offer it to us, right? Housing food? New wares are available. The next feat awaits, and Alcano would have you on the road as soon as possible. Seeing as we now face the penultimate objective of the rite, it would be wise to travel to Mamuk and undertake the feat of the Brotherhood without delay. Wise, yes, but impossible. The Tianbek Traverse, which connects the upper forest to the Jaktika heartland, is still impassable. Is there no other route? I'm afraid not. Work to clear the path is underway though, so I'm hopeful we can resume our journey soon. Then let us each use this time as we see fit. I, for one, would like to explore the village's surrounds, if Erenville would oblige me with a tour. Very well. I have no other engagements. Then I will come with you, if only to prove that I am capable of keeping my footing. Don't fall again, Alice. Though I shouldn't rejoice in our delay, it does afford me an opportunity to look into my grandfather's purported visit to Yak T'el. Oh, that's right. Mablu did say something about a foreign mage coming through here decades back, didn't she? I'll come with you. Want to join us, Rain? Let us reconvene here after our respective diversions. As I recall, the merchant met my grandfather at a market in Yak T'el some 20 years ago. Any who might reliably remember him must therefore be at least middle-aged. Let us make inquiries where we can. Because I still struggle with a lot of the words every time they come up and have to reread. A foreign mage 20 years ago? Yes, I remember him. It's not often we get visitors from across the salt, let alone those traveling with infants. A baby girl, as I recall. I only saw him in passing, mind. If anyone were to know more, I'd wager it would be Hanmuruk. He was already Jibrash Sharash then. A baby girl? It couldn't have been. Thank you, sir. That information is very helpful. This may be the very lead I was hoping for. So Hanmuruk has been Jibrash Rash for over 20 years. That's before I was even born. Okay then, for sure Goloof and this explorer guy are not the same person. Hello again. Do you require assistance? A foreign mage passed through Ikbrash roughly 20 years ago, possibly carrying a young child. Do you remember him? Why do you ask me this? Who is this man to you? He may have been my grandfather, and I wish to know what brought him here. Your grandfather? Not by blood, but he is family nonetheless. A foreign mage did indeed visit Ikbrash, Master Galuf. So far as his So far as his identity is concerned, I trust you are satisfied. More than that, however, I cannot say. Why not? I simply cannot. I beg your forgiveness and understanding. Very well. I will not press. Thank you for confirming his presence here. The rest I will discover myself. Out of more general curiosity, I have another question. They say the Yakui once dwelled in these forests. Where was that exactly? General curiosity indeed. But yes, before they withdrew to Urkopacha some 5 centuries ago, the Yakui claimed Yak T'el as their own. Many of their architectural remains can be found in the lower forests, the Jatika heartland. Then that's where they must have had their visions. Thank you. That answers much and more. I understand what it means to long for one's family, so believe me when I say that, though my position forbids me from aiding you further, I wish you nothing but success. By helping the Third Promise find the Golden City, you will surely find the answers to your questions. Speaking of which, I have a query of my own for you, Rain. May I request a moment of your company? Go on, we'll wait for you. Thank you for obliging me. First, let us head to the cenote behind this village. It was my intention to see you off without saying anything, but Mistress Kryle's plea has softened my resolve. As the leader of our community, I am gladdened to see that the Third Promise has surrounded herself with such compassionate and trustworthy companions. Would you tell me of her journey thus far? Is that so? It seems the rite has been a source of great learning and growth for Wuklamot. It does me well to hear that. My daughter would be about her age. Girls are rarely born amongst the Jabral, so when she arrived, the village was elated. Such joy I felt when I first held her, and pain when I found her at the bottom of a cenote. 3 years old. An accident, it was said. But I knew better. She had been pushed. Though we never caught them, a suspicious figure was seen fleeing towards the Jatika heartland, towards Mamuk. Once bitter enemies, the Mamulja and Shabral had learned to live in peace. But who could doubt the intent of such a reprehensible act? By targeting the child, who would one day lead her people, the criminal sought to undermine the future of the Shabral. I was determined not to let them succeed, and so I let the memory of my daughter die in that cenote, and gave her into the care of the one person I knew who could protect her. Dawn Servant Galul Jaja. Though she was born to lead the Shabral, fate had a greater plan for Wuklamot. Only the Dawn Servant and I know the truth. But I must now take you into my confidence for one reason. If the villain who attempted to murder my daughter was indeed of Mamuk, then rancor towards the Shabral still burns. I was caught off guard once. I will not suffer the same tragedy again. And so I ask you, not as the Dawn Servant's elector, but as a father, to watch over the Third Promise. Defend her from her enemies that may be lurking in shadow. Will you do this for me? Thank you, from the bottom of my heart. Will you hear my question and answer me plainly? Address me not as the ruler of Tuli Alal, but a concerned father. Suffice it to say, this conversation must remain between us. Pray breathe not a word of this to anyone. Okay, they were making it a little heavy on me for a minute there, but I got through it. Taking a stand, level 94. Hanwuruk stands quietly, his expression one of old pain. Recalling the past has rendered me emotional, sane. I require a moment to compose myself, but please, do not keep the third promise waiting. Uh-oh. It's glowy duty time. Finished speaking with Hanmurak, have you? On speaking with Wuklamat, several cutscenes will play. Time to get it. You're back. So what did Hanmurak want? It's alright, you don't have to say. More importantly, the Tianbek Traverse still isn't clear yet. Something about even more rocks. Then I think I'll take the opportunity to rest. All that cooking and preparing for it has worn me out. A nap does sound tempting. A moment, promise. You're one of Bako Jaja's. What do you want? I've come to fetch you. You're welcome to refuse, but know that it would be most unwise. And why's that? I'm sure your salted friend has an idea. What do you think? And they say house cats don't come when called. Follow me, promise.
What is the meaning of this? And just how far do you plan on taking us? Morok!
Hiya.
Bako Jaja, you snake! If you want my keystone so badly, you deal with me and me alone. Leave the Elector out of this.
Is that all you think he is? Foolish kitty! This man is the reason we are here. Take a good look at him. Go on. Look. Surely you recognize your real father.
Hiya. Disposo.
Don't believe us? Then ask your trusted sellsword. He heard it straight from the old man's mouth.
Is it true? Is Humuruk my... Your silence says it all.
Now that you understand the situation, let's see those keystones. I'll even let you fight for them. Just you and me. If that adventurer attempts to interfere, I'll kill the old man myself!
You can take him, Muklamat. I believe in you.
You despicable, heartless fiend!
Kick his ass.
Kinsman or no, I won't stand for you taking hostages! Come on then! You wanna fight? I'll give you a fight!
Oh, such heroic caterwauling promise. I'm shaking. Guard our hostage well. We wouldn't want to attempt any thoughts of rescue. By the by, house cat, they've been instructed to put down Papa dearest when you lose. Hopefully he settled his affairs.
These guys are the
Don't
worst.
worry. I'm not losing to the likes of him.
I know you won't. Going to send them to the Shadow Realm.
Well, what are you waiting for, you blessed bastards? It's 2 against 1. Don't tell me you're scared.
I know I didn't hear you right.
Cowards don't stand a chance against Wuklamat. You should back down before you get hurt. Don't worry, the scary adventurer won't try anything funny. Cowards don't stand a chance against Wuklamat.
You dare call us cowards?
I dare.
I'll kill you, kill you, kill you all! Don't look away, son. I want you to watch as I tear your beloved promise to shreds!
Hey, eyes on me. The house cat, remember? I'll say it again. I'm not losing to the likes of you. I'm going to become Dawn's servant, and I will protect my people!
This battle you play as Wuklamat. He's got attacks to recover HP and deal great damage. AoE combo, single target combo, HP buff, Tomahawk, Gap Closer, Limit Break.
Come, you mangy house cut, so I can rip you to pieces!
Mangy house cat, hiya.
You to shreds! My magic should be more than enough for Miss Miguels. I'll make you eat dirt.
What? I see. Shit. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. Like, threw me off that the knockback wasn't moving, but it was relative to the boss's position is why.
Still playing the part of the brave warrior.
Uh-oh, uh-oh. Not even close.
This Midas is no longer amusing me, brother.
This rite has taught me so much. About my nation, my people, and myself.
Can't keep up.
How do you like this? Kitty.
This is the real one, yeah.
I finally understand what it means to live in peace. To greet each day in safety and happiness.
Irritating past. It's time we finished her. This is the end for you, kitten.
Not enough to claim the title of Dawn Servant. I must carry on Papa's legacy, his love for our people.
I'll grind you beneath my heel.
Uh-oh. Should have watched the cast bar more closely.
Why won't you die?
Busy watching this AoE expand instead of thinking about when it will resolve.
Fine. I'll show you the true power of the blessed.
I will be the next Dawn Servant, and I'll protect my people's happiness.
Hell yeah.
That's when there's no way I'll ever lose to the light of you!
What? But that was everything I had!
You've been found wanting.
I can't stand it anymore! Attack! This is our fight! Stay out of it! You bring shame upon us. You think we care about your stupid pride? This is for Mamuk! We cannot lose!
cannot lose, he says.
Bakul Jaja needs help, I see. Send your whole army. You still won't win. I will prove that my allies are right to believe in me.
Such confidence. She wasn't like this before.
Easy peasy. Yoink.
I reclaim what you stole.
No. How can this be? How could that puny house cat beat all of us?
Well, you're a bunch of weak-ass babies, for starters. But also,
You've caused nothing but
Ukulumata
trouble
Giga
with your
strong.
dirty tricks. Threatening the Hanuhanu, releasing Valyarmanda, harassing me is one thing, but you've endangered too many innocents. No more, Bakul Jaja. I will not stand for it. If you even think of tormenting my people again, you will answer to me.
No. No.
And he goes and forgets he had the way blocked.
What that stinky devil?
What? That was his doing?
The only part left in the saga is the Lay of the Brotherhood in Mamuk. The plan was to force you here so we could take the rest of your keystones.
So that's what he was up to. But, should you be telling us this?
Oh, I think by now they recognize that he's a bit impotent. So what does it matter?
What does it matter?
Oh, there it is.
It's over.
He said that thing I said.
We'll release the hostage.
I'm sorry. I was careless.
Are you alright? So what Bakul Jaja said about you and me...
But to single-handedly defeat Bakul Jaja, you truly are the Dawn Servant's daughter. It has been my honor to bear witness to your journey. Promise.
Promise. Yes. That's what I am.
Well, what a sweet resolution to this part.
I'm Gulul Jaja's daughter, and Tuli Hyolal's next Dawn servant. Come on. Let's rejoin the others.
Big gaming. Did something happen while we were away? There's a certain satisfied air about you. For as weathered as our promise looks, she's positively glowing with confidence. What in the world happened? The twins ran me from one end of the Utomu horizon to the other, asking about everything of remote interest along the way. I'm sorry that happened to you, Aaronville. That is really unfortunate. Seems we were last to return. I'm glad everyone made it back safely. Thank you for having faith in me. Keeping out of the fight even when it got dirty couldn't have been easy for you. But Bako Jaja won't be the last person to threaten those I care about. I wanted to prove to myself that I can stand up to such villains, even when I stand alone. Which isn't to say I won't ask for your help when I need it, of course. I know better than that now. Earlier, in the Second Promises camp.
The passage to Mamuk remains blocked. For now, all we can do is try to rest and recover. Perhaps with a meal, as my sister would no doubt suggest. Shall we borrow the kitchens and prepare some Shibruk Bibil?
So thou hast taken a liking to the dish. As we learn to appreciate the unfamiliar, 'tis only natural that we develop new affinities. There is no shame in this.
Plus, everybody loves tacos.
But there is in ignorance. I had barely considered what the people of Tudi Yolal hold dear. What hopes they harbor for the future. Our nation is built upon the bonds that Father forged during his journey across Tural. But so single-minded have I been in my advocacy of foreign innovations that I fail to understand my own people. Could someone who struggles to connect with the populace ever make a worthy Dawn servant?
To understand and connect with people is by no means easy.
I wonder if this is when he will align with Wuklamat, or if that's going to happen later, or actually not at all. I'll be really surprised if he doesn't wind up supporting her bid instead of...
But there is something you can do to pave the way.
Acting for himself.
Let them see you for who you really are. What makes you laugh and cry and rage. That sort of honesty is the first step towards mutual understanding and connection.
Understanding begets fellowship, as my father said. And yet, what you suggest does not come naturally to me.
I, too, have found it difficult to speak from the heart. In thy struggles, I see mine own, painful in their familiarity. Yet frightening though it may feel, if we are to move forward, we must indeed take that first step. Dispense with pretense, and simply be.
Do you remember when you first approached us? and we asked you why you wanted to become Dawn Servant. You said you wished to use the knowledge you acquired in Sharlayan for your country, and in doing so repay your father for the opportunities he afforded you. What won me over was not your ambition, but your motivation. So let your people know this, and in time, they'll come to support you as we do. You can't hide behind that stoicism forever.
Very well then. I will make a greater effort to be myself. By not being my usual self so much.
Well, looks like he won't align with us at this point. Maybe down the line. No new dialogue. Wuklamat wishes to know how traversable the Tienbeck Traverse is. So what's the state of the Tienbeck Traverse? Still being cleared, I'd assume. Han Muruk said he would notify us as soon as work was done. Then perhaps now would be a good time to consider how we might reclaim Wuklamat's stolen keystone. The next feat will be our last, after all. Oh, I already got it back. Nani? What? When? Not to mention how. This is Bako Jaja we're talking about. So I taught him a lesson and took my keystone back. You bested Bako Jaja in single combat? Bravo! What can I say? I've had good friends to encourage and cheer me on. There you are. Our excavators have contacted me with news of their success. The Tienbeck Traverse is now safe for travel. Then we finally can make for Mamuk. Come to think of it, isn't it Bako Jaja's home? We can only hope its residents don't share his winning personality. If it is indeed the city where Ketenram first met the Dawn Servant, surely some civility awaits us. I would not be so certain. It is true that the Dawn Servant received Ketenram in Mamuk, and was instrumental in the establishment of friendly relations between the Shabral and Mamoja. But since that time, most of the Mamoja who supported his peace have left their city in favor of abiding in the capital. What remains is a cloister of Mamuk, and while these traditionalists do not take up arms against us, neither do they bear great love for outsiders. Whatever they're like, the people of Mamuk are also of Tuliolal. If I'm to be Dawn Servant, it's my job to know them first of all. Well, we'll be on our way then. I'm glad I could learn about where I came from, and eat so much Jabruk Pabil besides. Thank you for everything, Han Muruk. Till next time, take care. First, we make our way across the Shabret Cinderfield, due southeast. Okay, we on the road again. How you have grown indeed. The traverse will bring us straight into the Jaltika heartland. Remember how you insisted this forest is green? The path is quite steep, isn't it? Let us take our time and descend safely. I spoke with one of the excavators on my way down. Apparently, Bakojaja cleared away the one fallen tree remaining by barreling through it. That Wuklamat single-handedly defeated someone possessed of such physical might is nothing short of remarkable. Still, we ought to proceed with caution. There's no telling what his wounded pride might compel him to attempt. Well, we'll just beat his booty again if we have to. Aaronville said this traverse was dug to facilitate incursions into the forests above. Intentions notwithstanding, you have to admire the dedication. Scholar has too many buttons, is what I realized in this process of redoing my Scholar hotbars. Alluring, isn't it? In more ways than one. Take my paring stone and hold it close to the glowing rock. Just look at this thing. What a vibrant glow. As you hold the paring stone in the soft glow, it affixes itself to the boulder with surprising force. Paring stones are natural magnets, and that's a meteorite filled with iron, one of many remnants of an ancient meteor shower. The heterogeneous ether they emit causes surrounding flora to glow unique hues, as you can see. So these glowing boulders came plummeting down from the heavens. Vidra be merciful. There you are. Blue. It's all blue. A far cry from the upper forests, indeed. This place is already so fascinating. I'm eager to hear what the people of Mamuk can tell us about it. Keep running. We're almost there. I'd get up and move my legs for a little bit. Get some circulation going and all. But we proceed. As this is also my first time visiting Mamuk, I have no experience interacting with the locals. But given Hanmuruk's parting words, I would advise a cautionary approach. I wonder what the final feat will be. Rather more quiet than I expected. See if you can't convince Wuklamat to be cautious as well. Finally in Mamuk, Wuklamat is eager to make progress. Well, we all know what comes next. Let's find that elector. Two streets seem to converge upon this plaza, so I So I propose we split our numbers between them. Given Hanmuruk's guidance, I also suggest that we err on the side of caution and move throughout the city in pairs. Aaronville can come with me, and Alice can go with Cryo. That leaves Rain to accompany Wuklamat. If these arrangements are to everyone's satisfaction, then may our respective searches prove fruitful. Search, search, search. Belligerent Abunewa. Your words may as well be ambient noise for all the care this citizen pays you. Aya. Hurt Dopro. Yeah, they don't like outsiders. As you begin to speak, the man abruptly turns and leaves. It's not going good, guys. It's not going good. Might need another plan. Please tell me you've had better luck. No one will talk to you either? I was prepared for hard stares and harsh words, but this is something else. That building there looks like a shop, doesn't it? Let's go and take a look. A merchant wouldn't ignore us, surely. Well, it looks like the merchant will ignore us, but let's see what Wook says. Hello there. We'd like to ask you something if you don't mind. Move along, outsiders. We're just trying to find someone. The Dawn Servant's Lector. Could you tell us where they are? How are we supposed to find the Elector if no one will even speak with us? Everyone, can you hear me? Come to the massive stone structure on the west side of the city, as quickly as you can.
Up there!
Uh-oh.
Bested by a mere shade.
Sorolcha? Papa?
Not as you know him. What you see is an arcane manifestation of the Dawn Servant as he was in his prime.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
The Channeler is Zerelja, Autarch of Mamuk and Elector for the feet of the Brotherhood.
Tuli Yolal's mightiest warrior, yet wisest you are not. You who spurned your retainer's aid when battling your betters.
To prove oneself superior to blessed siblings by surpassing the shade of Galul Jar Jar himself. That is the final feat. The first promise fought alone and fell short, but that is now the least of his concerns.
You could have let your foolishness end with your failure. But instead, you attempted to harm an anointed elector.
What were you thinking, Zoralja?
Zoralja, as of this moment, you are no longer a claimant. I disqualify you from the right of succession. Be gone from my sight.
I did not expect Zoralja to get disqualified. Rip Bozo.
This isn't over yet. I will be the one to reach the Golden City.
Uh-huh. Big words from a loser.
When Zoralja was defeated, he tried to take the keystone by force. But he was thwarted by Father Shade.
My dearest child, welcome home. This feat was made for you. Only blessed siblings could hope to defeat Galul Jar Jar. But ere we begin, I would see the fruits of your triumphs. Come, show me your tablets.
Uh-oh. That looks like 2 out of 6, mister.
What is this? Where are your keystones? Explain yourself, boy!
Daddy gonna whoop that ass.
No matter. Not all can be expected to go to plan. What keystones you lack, you can easily take.
Oh, so that's why your son is such a cheater.
I tried. But I couldn't. I cannot beat her.
You mean to tell me that you, glory of Mamuk, for whom all here have sacrificed, were defeated by your inferiors? You are as useless as your siblings. A failure. Leave and never return! You have no place here!
Let's go, brother.
Worthless! Pathetic! This was our chance to claim sovereignty, and he ruins it!
I mean, he did it to himself. He didn't even bother trying to participate.
These stragglers fail. Galul Jar Jar will be forced to extend his rule.
And in the next rite of succession, we will present a better claimant. So come, stand before me, and fall.
Real.
I won't do your trial.
Oh? You intend to forfeit the right?
Papa wants his successor to intimately understand the country he loves. Every step of my journey, I've learned something about our peoples and their cultures. I would do the same here in Mamuk.
Wuklamot pulling out the reverse Uno card.
The Mamulja deserve nothing less. So your battle can wait.
I'm of the same mind. Father named you an elector for a reason. There must be something that he would have us learn.
Do as you will. But until you triumph over the Shade, you shall proceed no further.
Promise, I would speak with you. Meet me on the western outskirts.
Oh. At least his mom seems smart. The first promise's attendant just now. Did his words not strike you as strange? I will be the one to reach the Golden City, as though he intends to venture there, with or without Zoral Ja. Yeah, it was a little weird that he said I and not we or whatever. I have heard about this channeling art before. Passed down through a certain clan, it employs arcane implements to produce a smoke from which the mage can conjure a shade. That was a dramatic escalation. It's hard to believe Zoral Ja was bested in battle. The electors we have met thus far have all had their peculiarities, but each we felt would judge claimants equally. This Zoral Ja, however, seems set in his belief that only blessed siblings are worthy of the throne. Why would the Dawn Servant name an openly biased man elector? Worrying over Zoral Ja won't get us anywhere. That lady, on the other hand, was the first person to address us with any civility since we arrived. We should go and meet her, hear what she has to say. The western outskirts, right? Good plan, Wuklamot. Let's do it. If Zoral Ja and is Bunewa and she is Hubigo, then whatever her relation to Zoral Ja, I hope we can trust her. We could do with at least one ally in this city. She looks troubled. Finally, a real conversation. Thank you for coming. My name is Milal Ja. Here we may talk freely, away from prying eyes. And what was it you wished to talk about? Tell me, what do you think of Mamuk? Well, we don't have much to say yet. No one wants to speak with us. All who remain in this city are devoted to the traditional ways. They believe that blessed siblings are superior, that only they are worthy to lead the peoples of this continent. Most would not deign to address outsiders, deeming them beneath notice. Sounds like an ideal community so far as Bakul Jaja is concerned. Yeah, and that's why he's so weak and ignorant. I am tired, exhausted by this senselessness. There are others like me, but we dare not speak our truth aloud. Yet now we have an opportunity to reclaim our agency. For you have bested Bako Jaja. You, a Jabral inferior by all presumptions, triumphed over our two-headed champion. This time, anyway. Next time I might not be so lucky. Bako Jaja is just that strong. I seriously don't understand why he cheats so much. It seems to me he'd do better if he just trusted his own abilities. He's desperate. Other blessed siblings have fallen before. Mullah Jaja of the Silver Scales, for one. He traveled across the Salt in search of conquest, only to be overcome. But no matter how the individual may falter, the people still believe in blessed sibling supremacy. Because of my father. He who united Tural under one rule, who in their eyes stands as testament to the tradition's infallibility. Regardless of your father's virtuous intent, his greatest triumph has only fanned the flames of our people's obsession. However, as both his daughter and claimant to his legacy, your triumph could prove that Golul Jaja's true strength lies not in his birth, but in his character. And in doing so, you may give us the strength to renounce blessed siblings forever. I can understand wanting to forsake zealotry, but isn't forsaking two-headed Mamocha going a bit far? You must decide that for yourself, whether the price we pay is worth an empty dream. Golul Jaja labored to break down walls, that his very existence would instead lead some to raise them is unfortunate. If I can use my status as the Dawn Servant's daughter to help the people of Mamuk, I'm happy to do so, but I'd like to better understand Mullah Ja's motivations first. The price we pay. Is she referring to the marriages between the Hubago and Bunawak clans? That's not what I took from it, Kryl, but since you're suggesting that, that's probably it. I do find this rift in the Mamul Jaz, super interesting. I expect it was for his devotees that Bako Jaja joined the Rite of Succession. What I know about Mamoja extremism is limited to what I've heard through rumors. The same is true for most who hail from Yak T'el. Like, it is super interesting that in their species there is this rift because of this worshipping and hero complex that they have for the two heads. Mullah Ja has something to show you. There is a place that will help you to understand our plight. It lies far to the west of here. Follow me. And yes, I think it's super interesting the way it's set up with Uklamat's father being this great unifier that also created this rift within his own people, and I'm sure that his intention is for Wuklamat to fix the rift while she's here and get the last keystone. Like, it's all part of his master plan. I see it down there. Is that a meteorite up there? Aye, and judging by their attachment, that tree must benefit from the meteorite's unique ether. Anyway, we should press on. Mullah Ja was anxious for us to see whatever she has to show us. The canopy blocks out the sun so completely, it's as if we're in a room without windows. A hunting camp, like as not. I'd love to talk to Mamoja hunters and learn about their ways, except they'd probably ignore me. The others have continued on. Let's catch up to them. This is the place you wanted to show us? It lies just beyond this passage. Entry to these grounds is not permitted even to the devout. Nonetheless, I would reveal our secrets to you. Rest assured I shall take full responsibility. Come, see for yourself the truth of the blessed. Let us see the truth of the blessed.
I shouldn't have looked down.
The stone pier yonder. That is our destination.
To erect it there would have been no small feat.
Okay. Alphano, are you really going to say erect it? We're looking at this platform that looks like a certain body part.
The work of Yakui hands built long, long ago. Our forebears merely altered the entrance.
Altered? To what end?
It will be quicker to show you. We have beasts that can carry us below.
Hello there.
A cool cha-cha.
What? Couldn't wait to laugh at the failure?
You've always come here to cry. Ever since you were little.
Mother!
The third promise seeks to learn about Mamuk. She may be our chance to finally end what we have been powerless to stop. Talk with her. Tell her what we have done.
Fine. Perhaps it's only right that we be the ones to speak of it. Blessed as we are.
Time to learn some dark truth. Surely they're not just taking two guys and stitching them together or something, two babies.
Here. This vessel holds the remains of a two-headed Mamulja. An infant. We converted the ruins into a cenotaph, so the souls of these children wouldn't return as vengeful spirits. Do you know how blessed siblings are made?
I would very much like to find out.
I've heard that they are born to Hubago and Bunawa parents.
Such unions between clans were originally arranged to stop infighting. The war against the Shibral was going poorly, and we needed to be united. Then, one day, a child was born. One blessed with two heads and tremendous power.
When this child grew old enough to lead our army, we became unstoppable. The Shibral had no answer, and we drove them all the way back to the trees above. That taste of victory awakened our greed. We became obsessed with conceiving more and more of these superior children. No matter the cost. Of the countless born, most die. Trapped in their shells.
Only 1 in 100 survive.
Okay, so they're not doing any weird experiment, it's just that most of them don't hatch.
If we are blessed, it is only because we yet live. Unlike our brothers and sisters, who were sacrificed for the glory of Mamuk.
I mean, sounds like it would be pretty easily avoidable. I don't know, it's a complicated issue. Because, I mean, what do? Do you forbid the two clans from trying to interbreed? That being said, I don't think they should be doing it just so that they can create these powerful warriors. But ultimately, I think that the parents should have the decision of whether or not they want to take that gamble.
That's horrible.
But doing it just for glory and power is, I think, a few moral... I don't know what the term I'm looking for is, but it's worse for sure. In my estimation.
Horrible. It's an atrocity we can never take back. Those children died so that we could live. So we had to succeed, no matter what. To fail would mean it was all for nothing. Nothing. But I did fail. I squandered their sacrifice.
I sympathize with your pain, or don't use them as an excuse. I guess I sympathize with your pain. This is a strategy that you guys are using so that you can rule.
I should never have been born.
You're wrong. You didn't ask to be born as you are, and you aren't responsible for your siblings' deaths. The people obsessed with blessed siblings are. They made their choices, but they don't make yours. Since when do you let others push you around Bakul Jaja? What do you want? Say it!
I want it to end. I don't want any more to die.
Then you have my word. We'll put a stop to this madness.
Blessed siblings are revered by their supporters as a means to achieve dominance in Tural. If we understand why they harbor such aspirations in the first place, we would be better equipped to treat with them.
Indeed. I just hope they will be open to discourse.
Take me with you. Those fanatics treat my words as gospel.
No. There will be trouble if your father finds out you're still here. Moshutural Zush. There we will gather the people, and ask anything the Third Promise wishes to know.
Then take one of my scales. One that blends Ehubiko and Bunewa coloring. It'll serve as proof that you have our trust. People will do as you say if you show it to them.
What? So he's actually a nice and kind of reasonable guy? This is what happens when parents are shoving their ambitions down their children's throat. They become these madmen, when they're actually just normal people, trying to live up to expectations. Imagine.
I'm sorry for what I've said and done. I don't expect your forgiveness.
She will forgive him. I don't know if I would.
You had your reasons. I'm glad I could know them.
The scale's a good start, though. But maybe a little more penance before.
Which is to say, you're not a complete alpaca's ass.
Lol XD.
Well, maybe it's for the best. Hatred is exhausting, after all.
Indeed. So let us make the most of our newfound friendship and bring together the people of Mamuk. We have much to discover.
Yeah, I'm just saying that that platform down there, it has a certain shape. A certain resemblance. And when you say erect it, it invokes a certain image in the mind, no? Hey Rain, before we rejoin the others, can we talk for a moment? I really hated him, you know? Well, Cha-Cha. With every fiber of my being. He tried to ruin Ileana, sabotaged us on the river, kidnapped me for my keystone, and released the most vicious Tural Vidral of all time. Anything he could do to cause us pain, he did. Never in a million years would I forgive him. But the moment I understood why he did what he did, the pain he's been carrying this whole time, all my anger just evaporated. Does his pain justify his actions in your eyes? He still needs to make amends. I hear you. Bako Jaja's motives don't absolve him of his crimes. He must answer for them, like anyone else. But right now, my duty is to ensure that no one in Mamuk feels desperate enough to go to such lengths ever again. Anyway, thanks for listening. Now that I've voiced that, I feel readier for the challenges ahead. Come on, let's head back to the city. Okay, let's head back. It's amazing how Wuklamot can connect with anyone. She has an incredible gift. Sometimes it's best to just forgive and move on. It can be difficult. Gods, don't I know it. But that's all the more reason to try your damnedest to look past how you were wronged and let bygones be bygones. To think that there was such a dark secret behind blessed siblings. Even among the Mamoja, I cannot imagine many know the truth, especially not those who reside in the capital. Bako Jaja's scale represents his faith in us. We won't fail him or his people. Scale of Trust. Alphino is ready to bring the people together. We haven't a moment to lose. According to Milao Ja, Maksutoro Zuj is an abandoned settlement northwest of the city. It should afford us the privacy we require. We must work quickly, lest the Ryoja discover our intentions. Fortunately, Bako Jaja thought to give us additional skills, so we might cover more ground in less time. Everyone should take one and get going. Use them to gather as many people as you can. Rain, let's retrace our steps. Maybe this time we can convince folks to lend an ear. Did I not tell you to move along? I can't be seen talking with the likes of you. Blessed Scale, a symbol of trust bestowed upon you by Bako Jaja. Its blend of Hubugo and Bunawa coloring makes its origin indisputable. A blessed scale, in an outsider's hands? What business do you have with me? So Bako Jaja sent you to call an assembly. I'm not sure what to make of this, but I shall go to Maksutoro Zuj at once. At scale. If the Blessed trust you, then so will I. So, what is it that you require of me? A strange place for an assembly, but very well. I will not refuse he who fights for our dreams. Have you managed to gather some of the good folks? Wonderful. The esteemed Bako Jaja will be pleased. This fellow here will be coming to Maksutoro Zuj as well. Apparently there's a nodule nursery to the west called Golmaji Grove. Could you go and see who you can talk to there as well? I'll meet you in Maksutoro Zuj afterwards. There's just one more person I need to find. The Banana Grove, let's go. Leave this place, outsider. Oh, my apologies. I was unaware. I thank you, blessed Scalebearer, for bringing me word of this gathering. I shall away to Mashutural Zuj at once. Okay, now we go way up, up, up. Where's Wuklamat? Sorry to keep you waiting. You invited the second promise as well? Lamatia, need I remind you that this rite is a competition? Whatever advantage you're about to share with me, you ought to utilize to your own benefit. I have barely made headway in communicating with the locals. At this rate, you lead the race to the Golden City. I need your help. To complete the feat? No. Mamook has a problem I can't solve on my own, and you're the most clever person I know. I want you to hear the people firsthand, so that we might come up with a way to help them. Very well. I am at your disposal. Everyone, thank you for gathering on such short notice. I am Wuklamat, third promise of Tuliolal. Promise? I thought you served Bakul Jaja. You deceived us? No, they did not. Bakul Jaja serves us. Badumtis. The scales they showed you were mine. I entrusted them to the third promise and her retinue. Why honor these outsiders so? Because Wuklamat has won my trust. Now you will hear her words. Akojaja shared with me the truth about blessed siblings, about the price you paid to conceive them. As an outsider to your community, it is not my place to judge you or your culture. Culture is born of the experience of its people, of their lives and their land. But it breaks my heart to know that yours has brought you all so much suffering. If any here wish to break the cycle of tragedy that creating blessed siblings demands, I ask that you join us. Please, I don't want any more of our children to die. You think we want this? We have no choice. Only blessed siblings can liberate us from our suffering. Without them, we have nothing. That remains to be seen. Speak with the third promise. Share with her your worries and your pain, and together we may find a new way forward. Together? If she is trustworthy, then I will speak with her. It would be best if you withdrew, my son. Many cannot yet speak freely in your presence. Let's keep an eye out for Zuriel Jah. He wouldn't take kindly to this sort of gathering. Once we understand everyone's concerns, we'll be better equipped to help them. Let's make sure they feel heard. Even if Bakul Jaja trusts the third promise, I don't know if I'm comfortable discussing this with her. I'm sure my son would have preferred to stay, but his presence alone still greatly sways our people's behavior. An end to blessed siblings? Belief in blessed siblings and the salvation they would bring has sustained me for years and years. But if there's another way, if the third promise can truly help us, I don't know what to think or how to feel about this. I'm glad Kona agreed to help us. He's always been good at solving complicated problems. Me, not so much. But I'll support Mamuk's people however I can. Okay, so he's for sure gonna yield to Wuklamot, right? He's gonna yield to her, and she's gonna take him on as basically second in command, head advisor. Which I think someone offered that to someone earlier in the story. By combining our respective strengths, we'll help them discover a new source of hope. I know we will.